Good afternoon, everybody. This is Alan with D9JSPORTS. Hey, we're right back at it with another show. We got a good one lined up for you today. Very important show. Uh, we want to definitely, everybody, you see this video, I want you to share it with everybody. I'm gonna put it on Facebook as soon as I drop it. You need to definitely share this video with everybody. Uh, we all know about the mass shooting that went on last night or yesterday, and as I sit up and watch it, I kind of just started to think about the sports world and what I've seen in local sports and sports in general. And I want to kind of give you my take on what I see and what I think and what we need to do moving forward. So let's jump right into this thing. So as I told you earlier, we all seen the mass shooting. It doesn't really make, no matter how you try to figure it up, you can't figure crazy up. Why somebody would go to a birthday party with some kids and start shooting. No matter what you do, it does that doesn't make any sense right there. But as I sit up and watch it and watch the interviews on and stuff, everything on it, and then I was sitting there watching football games and certainly, as you know, I do videos, so I'm surfing through every day and looking at stuff, and I've seen how there's a football team where they had a fight. They had to cancel the game, and over 32 individual players got into it, and they had to cancel the game. I done a video a couple of days ago where a coach was on the sideline and they were playing playoff football, and the kid runs out of bounds, and the coach pushed the kid, and then the kid took his helmet off and threw it at the coaches, and then the coaches actually attacked the kid afterwards. Maybe one of his players did, but the coaches did, the adults. So I really want to talk about that, and I want to talk about some of the things that I've seen in our local sports, and hopefully we can get a grasp on what's going on. So first off, I want to tell you that you know how things go, and if you've heard me say this on this show before, we live in a day and age in a society and time right now where you can't say anything good or bad or just give your opinion unless somebody has a problem with it. And once again, on my show, I tell the truth. I don't hide from the truth. I tell the truth, and if you don't like what I say, then you just don't like what I say. But I do have a right for my opinion on my show, and if you have a right for your opinion, you can comment. And like I said, once again, if you do comment, if you leave some knucklehead comment, I'm not going to respond. But if you have a valid comment, then I would definitely do a show and talk about your comments. So what I've seen, let's start with our local school, right? We all know about the things where people said that some kids get bullied and stuff. I would hope that this isn't true. I would hope that if it is true, I would hope that our leaders at the school will make sure that they're doing everything that they possibly can to hone in on the situation and the individuals, regardless if the individuals are bullying somebody. It has to stop, because bullying some kid that can't take care of themselves or their kid maybe not be as popular or whatever leads to some things that we don't ever want to see from kids, man. We don't want to ever see a kid being despaired like that. And a lot of times when it happens to kids are afraid to say anything, maybe to their parents or anything, and they just hold it in, and then one day all of a sudden something goes wrong. And we definitely don't want to see that at Jasper Independent School District or Newton Independent, or none of the school districts that are around here. We definitely do not want to see anything like that. Now, in the sports world, what I've seen is, like our last football game, the Bulldogs, we played in our last football game, and at the end of the game, they had to stop the football game because there were so many fights. And this went on pretty much all season with our team, undisciplined. And once again, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not telling you something that I'm making up. If you've been at the ball games, you've seen it yourself. So that has to stop. That has to stop. Now, as parents, I think that there's a really what people are really not really getting right now. And this, and like I said, I'm gonna go around in the circle. So hopefully you can kind of get a lot out of this video and share it with people, and you will understand what really is going on. When it comes to the fights, that's just being knuckleheads. That's just being undisciplined, and it needs to stop. Now, when it comes to parents, right? I've had parents that have got mad at me for saying good things about their kids. And maybe they were not mad, but they didn't understand it. And a couple of them, I talked to them, and they finally really kind of got a grasp on what I was trying to put out there. But now, I want to tell all you parents out there from the 409 who watch my show, there's something that you need to understand about sports now, about high school sports. High school sports now, ladies and gentlemen, is a business. it isn't like when we were playing football, when your number one goal, well, my number one goal at the time was I just wanted to play ball, you know. Uh, but your real number one goal was to get you a scholarship so you could leave whatever town you were in, so you could better yourself. So hopefully you could be a better off, do better than your parents did. You know what I'm saying? You've heard this. Your parents want you to be better than them. So that's what we were playing for, and you want to get you a scholarship. But now, ladies and gentlemen, not only is it about scholarship, ladies and gentlemen, number one thing is about name, image, and likeness. About getting that bag, as the kids say, about getting that bag. Now, in getting that bag, right? Well, I think a lot of parents out there are not really getting. Not all of them, because a lot of them do. But the ones who are falling short, this is where you're falling short at. See, you're thinking that, okay, your baby, whether it's football, basketball, whatever sport it may be, you take them to 1 or 2 camps, right? And we know you got to go to camps now. That's how you get the 5-star. If you didn't know that, that's how you get your star rankings. If you didn't know that, if you go to camps, you get your star rating, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, or whatever, right? So you take your kid to a couple of camps, right? And then all of a sudden you take pictures and you post your baby, may have done a little visit somewhere, and you posting your baby on there and saying, hey, man, your baby going to be. But then that's all that's happening. Now they may go up to the local field house or work out, right? But they're really not really understanding what they really need to be working on. I'm just keeping it real with you. But yet there are some people out there who know, hey, my kid needs to work on his overall burst. She needs to work on her set. She needs to work on this. She needs to hone in on that. He needs to work on his explosion. He needs to work on his technique, passing the football. Okay, he needs to work on his golf swing when he's coming back, holding a good tight grip on it. Those type of things right there that they need to work on, because lo and behold, there are a lot of parents out there who know that that's what their kid needs to work on. See, they may post something about their kid, but behind the scenes, they've got their kid really grinding. So then when the season starts, whatever particular season it may be, then their kid is ready to perform. See, you can't go out there and you think for 1 second that because your kid went to a couple of camps and then you took your baby maybe to a visit or 2, that means that your baby is going to be him or going to be her. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't work like that. They're going to have to put in the work. See, because they're going to be, chances are, your kid is going to be average size. Because if he's a big kid and has any fundamentals, he's already ahead of the curve. But your kid, chances are, he's going to be average size with average speed and average talent. He's going to have to be an overachiever. He's going to have to be an overachiever, right? You have to be able to understand this. You got to take your personal feelings out. You have to understand it. Because I'm telling you, because I don't have to, as a lot of parents live their dreams through their kids, I don't have to live my dreams through a kid playing sports or playing football. Say, for instance, I played football. I played it. I didn't participate in every sport. I don't have to live my dreams through a kid, because chances are your kid, if your kid can have a career like I did in sports, then your kid is going to get him a scholarship, and he or she's probably going to go somewhere. So you got to be able to swallow your pride and say, okay, man, this is what really needs to happen. You got to remove yourself away from it and say, okay, I'm going to trust this person. No matter who it is, I'm going to trust this person to train my kid, because I can tell you what, down at Port Nature's Groves, they trust people. That's why they keep winning. Down at West Orange Start, they keep winning. That's what they keep doing. Over in Newton, they keep winning because they keep working. They keep working behind the scenes. They're working. I'm just keeping it real with you. Carthage, they're winning. They're working on stuff that they need to do. And those kids right there, right over in little old Woodville, you already know what's going to happen. Kids going to get an NIL deal behind hard work behind the scenes. There are several kids that are going to get NIL deals. We saw what Ty Anthony Smith got his NIL deal. 2 year and a half, 2 years in, got his deal, but he kept grinding. And behind the scenes, he kept working. And so you've got to be able to understand that, parents. You got to be able to understand that. Now, next thing is, when your kids out there on the field or wherever they may be at, ladies and gentlemen, the fans are gonna say something if they ain't producing on the field, on the basketball court, on the football court, on the tennis court, the volleyball court, golf court, tennis court. The fans are gonna say something. It's a business. Now, do some of the fans take it too far? Yeah, you shouldn't be addressing a kid personally. Now, you have the right to say, man, he didn't throw that right. You have a right to be saying that. But as a parent, you can't get pissed off and want to go shoot the other parent or want to start a brawl at the fight, at the football game or the basketball game. You can't. Because I tell you what, when I played, I know that I would get talked about. I remember playing a game and we were playing, we were playing in Oklahoma somewhere. And we drive downfield at the end of the game, and we're on the 1 yard line, and I throw a pick six, and they take it back 99 yards and win the game. My coach was upset, but the person who was the most upset was my mother and my father. They didn't have to worry about whether the fans were saying something. They gave it to me in a positive manner. In a positive manner. Okay? They gave it to me in a positive manner. So those are some of the things that you gotta hone in on. So moving forward, the season's over with. We're talking football now. Football season's over with. I'm gonna tell you right now that you need to get somebody. You need to get somebody to make sure that your kid is working on the weak points, because I'm telling you, your kid's probably average size and is gonna need a toolage. Now you can get mad all you want if you from here in Jasper. But the other parents from the other schools, they're not getting mad. You know what they're doing? Hey, coach, can you help, or do you know somebody can help my kid? That's what they're doing. They're not getting mad. They're not getting caught up in, oh, this or that. See, because I'm going to talk about my town. See, in my town, we seem to think that, I don't know, I guess if you didn't go to the NFL Hall of Fame, then you don't know what you're talking about. Well, the other schools don't act like that. Other parents in other towns don't act like that. They want the best for their kid. And you remember, it's a business. It's a business now. NIL deals, it's a business. So you can take your kid to a couple camps. They can work out 1 or 2 times on whatever it may be. But if they're not working 30, 40, 50 times during the summer, because they don't play any other sport, they need to be working right now. Take a couple of weeks out and be working right now. I'm telling you. Because in the blink of an eye, it's going to be gone. And then you're going to be wondering, I wonder why ain't nobody come for none of my kids. Why they didn't come for my kids to give them no scholarship? When you've been told time and time again here at D9J Sports what you need to do. Now, we're going to, as I get ready to close, I'm going to tell you, right now for all the fans in Jasper and all the 409, there are going to be about 20 kids, 25 kids that we're going to have. I'm going to have a week-long seminar next week in the summertime, and you will hear more about it. And we're going to go up, and we're going to have breakfast, and we're going to have indoor classes, and then after that, we're going to go out and spend a couple of hours on the field for about a week. And then you already know D9J Sports Training Group, what we're going to be doing. I won't tell you again, but when the season starts, and the players from D9J Sports out there launching that football, you know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And the kids for D9J Sports who are going to be catching that rock, you know who I'm talking about. Don't say nothing. Don't you say nothing. This is Alan with D9J Sports. Let's do better. Let's do better. I'm definitely OUT.